Well, hello racing fans and welcome to our Gallop TV preview show at the Big T. That's Saturday the 5th of October and we are racing alongside Hollywoodbets Durbanville, but the first race meeting does kick things off on the Saturday locally at the Big T. What's on offer? Well, there is plenty. Firstly, there's 9 races on the go, so the pick 6, the big one begins at 13.35 and you have a sweetener. It's a massive one. It's a R1 million carryover, estimated pool 5 million rand. Lots of action when it comes to local racing, doubleheader Saturday, and then Hollywoodbets Greyville on Sunday. We welcome Alistair Cohen onto the show. I trust that you, the valued racing fan, as well. And as I mentioned, well, it depends on which show you are watching, but when chatting to Graham Hawkins, Alistair, there's lots to play for this weekend, and that sweetener is an attraction.
Indeed, what a card as well. I mean, if that sweetener wasn't there for the pick 6, I still think that this card at Turffontein will attract a lot of viewers, a lot of punters, and a lot of interest. These two Betway Spring Challenges, both for the fillies and mares, and more specifically for the colts and geldings, are very, very high quality races. I mean, yes, there are 1 or 2 half-old horses that have skipped this, looking at other avenues to getting potentially to the Betway Summer Cup, but this is the starting point, the traditional starting point anyway, going from the Betway Joburg Spring Challenge to the Allard Steel Road on a Mission Mile, or the Victory Moon, which is a week later, into the end of November for the Betway Summer Cup. I mean, it's a fantastic card. The 5 million rand target, let's see how close we get. And then either side of those 2 feature races, that Pinnacle Stakes, the 2 graduation plates, and a very strong handicap to finish. We're lucky on Saturday because even though there's no feature races, Hollywoodbets Kenilworth, there look to be some nice youngsters that go around there. So we've got 19 local races, very, very high quality. More than half, I'd say, have high quality contenders. So let's get stuck in. I think we'll be talking a lot on Sunday morning when we get to Hollywoodbets Greyville about what happened on Saturday.
Okay, let's get straight into it. Race number 1, 11:50, our first local race meeting before we get to race number 1 at Hollywoodbets Durbanville. Race number 1, as we bring up the field, small field, number 6 is now an important scratching. Just got that off the website, that 6 is definitely out. So we got 5 runners that will go to post here. Number 1 is at 6-10. Trent Mayu has picked up the ride on number 2. He'll only claim his 2.5 kgs. Number 4 at 9-2, and 5 is at 18-10. It's a small field. I don't know if we can try and build a kitty from race number 1 leading into race number 4 to possibly have a free ride into that pick 6. Suggested bets here in race number 1, Alistair?
Winner number 1, the Octagon. It's not going to build much of a kitty, but it's going to be a step in the right direction. It wouldn't ordinarily be my type of play for a horse that's been beaten twice in KZN, but this sets a very, very high standard. There's little else to get excited about. Obsidian coming back from a 70-day layoff, going over a mile after a break. I know that Taxi to the Moon would be a better horse than anyone in this race, but obviously he received weight from Taxi to the Moon. He'll improve. Well, he won't run 5th. He definitely won't run 5th here. But I just can't see number 1, the Octagon, getting beaten. He's always been a horse, I believe, that's shown a lot of good work at home. Alec took a string down to Durban. It's one of his first runners back from the Durban experiment, which I'd say went fairly well. He had a few winners, maybe a little less than he expected. Definitely came back with a few stake checks and happy owners, while the tracks and the weather in Joburg weren't to his liking. Gavin Lorena takes her out of number 1, the Octagon. I don't see any dangers. I don't think the form lines at number 4, Cliffy Clavin, are enough. And like I said, I have reservations about Obsidian after a break, going a mile on the back of a break. So this is how we start. The price is the price, because that's what we got to take. So number 1, the Octagon. Let's kick off our 19 race marathon with a winner.
Okay, 6-10, number 1, the Octagon. The smaller the field, well, let's not even go there. Race number 1. Race number 2 is the start of the bipod. It's over 1,600 meters. It's a maiden plate for fillies and mares. So this bipod does look attractive because if you can find a result in a few of the very highly competitive races, as Alistair alluded to at the top of the show, then you are certainly going to drop tickets. Well, let's have a look at race number 2, which is leg 1 of the bipod. Number 3, 22-10. Number 4 at 6-1. Horse number 5 at 3-1. Number 6 at 5-2. and horse number 7 at 4-1. You can see how tight the betting is at the top of the betting boards, Alistair. Just telling you the nature of leg 1 of the bipod.
Yeah, Dees, this is much harder than race number 1. And I think the betting's a little bit skewed because number 3, Fetching Flyer, who has some appeal, has been beaten by number 4, Quello Care before when they met behind Kudamati. There was a length in it. And obviously Quello Care ran no sort of race just a week ago. Well, when I say no sort of race, was well beaten by Fireburst just a week ago. It's not really exciting me all that much, I must be honest. So I'm going to look down towards the high numbers in this race. I think there's a lot of improvement to come again. Alec Laird and Gavin Lorena, they're going to lead the way for me. From number 7, Countess Q, didn't really rip up any trees on debut, beats nearly 10 lengths by Except Cookies. Been a direct winner from that form run, yes. But I think overall the experience will do her a world of good. I know it's only 150 meters, but the step up by 150 meters will do her a world of good. There's a lot of stamina in the dam side from Princess Nikki. That is, I think it was a Forthcoming pedigree and has moved on to Big Sky Ranch with Greg Morris and John Slade. So there's definitely a big step up. And also Gavin Lorena takes her out. I mean, that's got to be worth something as well. There would have been slim pickings for Gavin in this race when he would have looked at nominations. Him and his agent Wade probably would have been scratching their head saying, which direction do we go here? But I think number 7, Countess Q, is upwardly mobile. 6, Ancient Wisdom, was so disappointing last time out behind Theatre of Life. She's got to be better than that. But I'm a little bit gun-shy with her. Maybe number 5, Stormy Sunday, coming back from a layoff, could also step up. She was with Candace for a while, and she always looked like the chick coming to her own with runs and going over a bit of a trip. It's her first foray over a mile. So maybe she represents a little bit of value coming out of gate 1. So 5 and 7 are the 2 horses that I'd focus on. I'd probably include number 6 into the bipod as well, just to be sure, because I think that this is a bit of a trappy opening leg of the bipod, I must be honest. Very, very hard to get much sense of direction.
Well, all it's about is survival, I would suspect, and try and get through the minimum spend will be a bonus here in leg 1 of that bipod. Race number 3 kicks off the place accumulator. It's a 1 p.m. sharp, 2,000 meters. It's a C division class, and we bring up the field. Number 1 is at 33-10. Horse number 2 is a scratching. Number 3, Battle of Barberton, continues to improve, progress, and impress, 22-10. Number 4 at 28-10. 5 is at 7-1. And then Master TikTok holding his form exceptionally well for Paul Matchett. That is at 28-10. It is the start of the place accumulator. Surely we can try and narrow things down here, Alistair. When I look at the betting at the top again, it's quite tight. In fact, even tighter than the previous race.
Dees, I'm actually happy to find a banker in the place accumulator here because I'm convinced that there are only 3 winning chances, and I'd actually take a box trifecta here with number 1, 3, and 4. They can run in any order, and hopefully one of them does the job as far as the PA is concerned. Bipod, I'll probably go with 2 of the horses. I'm going to lead with number 4, Moolah Man, Gavin Lorena again. So if I'm correct, Gavin's going to have 3 from 3. The son of Lancaster Bomber comes out of gate 1, big advantage. But crucially for me, coming back from the 2-month layoff last time, I mean, for me, that's not really a layoff. But the point is, he would have probably taken a little step back at work and targeted a new season because he is what he is at this level. He's a good, genuine handicapper for this type of MR86 benchmark level. And I thought his run to Master Christmas was full of merit. Master Christmas ran at the Vaal on Thursday and ran with a field probably 2 divisions, maybe even 3 divisions stronger than this. Yes, he had a lightweight. I think he had 50 kilos on his back, but he ran a gallant second defeat, perhaps a trifle unlucky. And I think that run's going to stand number 4, Moolah Man, in good stead. I think overall he's been a little bit disappointing, number 4, Moolah Man, but it looks like now he's kind of running a little bit better with a little bit more credit, a little bit more consistency, and he's the horse that I'm going to lead with. Number 1, Atareme, big chance. Rachel Venica takes 1.5 kilos off the back. First run in a handicap since winning a novice handicap on the 13th of July. He's come well since being gelded. He stayed on very strongly last time behind Argo Valley in a middle stakes. He could be very well teed up. Number 3, Battle of Barberton, is the 3rd of my winning chances in that order. Any reason why he's not my top or second winning chances? I have a slight question mark about him on the inside track. He was given a worldie of a ride by Pierce Drayden from start to finish on a galloping course last time. he's going to have a little bit more fierce competition for the lead with Circle of Grace in the race, and hopefully that doesn't kind of take the wind out of his sails. I think he's best left alone and allowed to gallop, and I think if there is that early pressure, he might not be the same force. But with that said, he's definitely on the up. He's got a lot to like about him, and he's still got wins on the tank. So that's why he's the lesser of my 3 winning chances. But if he did win, I wouldn't be blown away. So 4, 1, and 3 in that order. Happy to isolate it to that. Banker in the place accumulator. 2 of those horses in the bar pot.
Well, that is a nice way to get things off there in the PA race number 3 with those 3 numbers. And as Alistair mentioned, play around them in whatever bets you are taking in race number 3. Then the main event when it comes to exotics over the weekend will be at Turffontein, because there's R1 million carried over to the Pick 6 on this race meeting, and the estimated pool is 5 million. 13:35 is the off. You need to jot this time down because it's going to turn out to be a very busy afternoon, especially if you're the kind of racing fan that plays around the globe. You sometimes lose track of time, and you don't want to be caught napping here, because this is going to be something worthwhile on the day. Pinnacle Stakes, 2,600 meters. Number 1, Zeus, 9-2. Number 2, Raise a Hallelujah. Hollywoodbets, 12-10. Good enough for some. That is shortened into even money. 4 at 5-1. 5 is at 6-1. 6 is now a scratching, and 7 is at 7-2. So we got 6 runners that go to post. Raise a Hallelujah, possibly the horse that sets the bar. But if you want to, speak about Raise a Hallelujah, then I think you have to bring the filly into the race as well. Explosive Bond. I don't know how you see leg 1 of the Pick 6, because, personally, I'd rather go out in leg 1 than leg 6, Alistair. That's how I see the Pick 6 these days.
They're the only 2 horses I can see winning. Let's start with number 2, Raise a Hallelujah. I'm actually sitting at Candace's yard right now. He's in such a good space. He's such a happy horse. He has been in this space and been in this type of form for a while. I mean, he went down to Cape Town. He loved it. He ran one good race and a few too many bad ones. But that's when he kind of just started loving life and come back to Joburg, and he's been exactly the same space. His last one, I would like to believe, was easier than the margin suggested when beating Explosive Bond by a length and a quarter. It's exactly the same race. It's a Pinnacle Stakes. He's got 1 kilo more to carry. He didn't get a penalty for that win. So I can't put anyone off. He is my top selection, and he will take a lot of beating. But as you say, wherever Raise a Hallelujah is, number 7 Explosive Bond ought to be there as well. She comes in here 1 kilo better off for a length and a quarter beating. On the pure mathematics, she should finish closer. The only thing that I can say is that, like I said, I thought Raise a Hallelujah maybe won a little bit easier than the margin suggested. He had no luck in Durban, the son of Quirari. On Hollywoodbets Durban July Day, he just ran into traffic. Would he have won? No, but there's no way he's 5.5 lengths inferior. And then again in the Gold Cup, he just got no start, was left at the back of the field, and he was doing his best to it late. He was luckless. Believe me, he gets 2 state checks in Durban had things gone according to plan. So that's the quality that he brings in, and hopefully he can go back to back. He's got every chance of going back to back. If you like him, I can't put you off, but I have just kicked for touch with number 7 Explosive Bond as backup.
Form result, leg 1 of that Pick 6 for Alistair Cohen. Race number 5 is a graduation plate. Fillies and mares, 1,200 meters the distance. We often refer to the best weighted column in these condition and plated races. We'll have a look at that after we have a look at the field and the betting. Number 1 at 7-2. Horse number 3 is at 2-1. Number 4 is at 11-2. 5 is at 9-2. Now there's some action for Say It Loud, Mike de Kock. 5-1 into 33-10 Hollywood bets. So the best weighted column, Alistair, I'll just read it out for our valued racing fan, is a dominance by number 3 Miamu at a 107. Then we got 5 at 89, 86 to number 2, and then there is 82 for the unexposed horse, Say It Loud, and horse number 4 as well. The de Kock runs at 82. I'd like to begin with this horse that tops the betting boards at 2-1 because she'll have to answer a few questions here, Alistair. Most importantly for me, 2 of them. Number 1, she's coming off, 6 months? if I can narrow that down, 6 months. It's on the 31st of March. And number 2, she's been racing over further. I know it's been in all those cracking good feature races, but her starting point for the season is going to be 1,200 meters. So how confident can you be?
I'm very confident, Dees. I think she'll win number 3, Mia Moo. The first thing that I want to establish is I think that this form line is going to be very, very strong. I think Selinho Peninsula, the half-sister to Barbaresco, is above average. It's going to be a huge test for her. We'll learn a lot about her here. Force 8, I don't think is too bad. Certainly on her run to Little Ballerina and to Rodeo Drive. Calantha is, let me tell you, divisions better than a 78. Can she win this? I highly doubt it from a long layoff, but she is divisions better than 78. She's got wins to come. Bosom Buddy's done little wrong. Say It Loud was very impressive at Hollywoodbets Scottsville. Much like Selena Peninsula. We'll learn a lot about her. And I think Saigon Susie is also upwardly mobile. But all of these horses, D's, every single horse in this race, bar number 3, Mia Moo, hasn't come anywhere near the opposition that Mia Moo's run with. She's run with the best of her generation. Give Me Another. She'll never beat Give Me Another in a million years because Give Me Another's gone overseas and Mia Moo's staying here. And also because Give Me Another's just simply the best filly of her generation, as she showed. Then 5 lengths to Double Grand Slam. Please be with me, even though she was best of the rest, and 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th all finished in a pile at Hollywoodbets Greyville in the Umzumkulu on that occasion. To receive a kilo and a half from Double Grand Slam in her absolute bread and butter, 1,400 meters, probably on a tight turning track even better, and with Double Grand Slam stepping forward and then winning the Tibushina in the manner that she did. This is such a high standard. What we're trying to establish here is that the other 6 horses, never mind Mia Moo coming back over a sprint, which I don't think is a bad thing because the family's all packed with speed, maybe this is her best trip. All these other horses in the race, D's, have to show that they are nearly 20 pounds, maybe even more, 20 pounds better than the rating they've been allocated. And yes, we are going into uncharted territory because I do believe that a lot of these horses are going to be touching the hundreds, but they are going to have to make a huge step forward, and Mia Moo is going to have a very up day or be well undercooked with the races that she's got targeted. I can't see her getting beaten just because of the opposition that she's missed. 3 Mia Moo for me. One of the bankers on the pick 6. There's another one coming up later, and this is where I'm setting up my stall, and I can't be spoken out of it. If something beats her, then they are top division.
That is it. Alistair Cohen has laid down his flag at number 3, Mia Moo, in race number 5. Just as a guide, to show the difference of opinion, Brandon Galliard, who's tipping on the day for computer form, his selections here 165. And then the banker for Alistair Cohen, he tips that back in foot. So he's always, as I stated, there are concerns, which I read out to you, just having a look at it in black and white. Maybe he sees it the same way. But Alistair Cohen has been spot on when he's gone with bankers and recent meetings that I've previewed with him. And maybe this is the way to go. Go with the class. The cream will rise to the top here in race number 5 with number 3, Mia Moo, who's well clear in the best weighted column. Let's move along to race number 6. Betway Joburg Spring Fillies and Mares Challenge. It's a Group 2. It's over 1,450 meters. And number 1 is at 11-2, 2 at 6-1. Then we have horse number 6 at 8-1. And anything else? Yep, there's 2 more. Number 11, VJ's Angel. What a run from her in that golden slipper. And of course, coming through to win an excellent race at the end of the season where she took on the boys in the Premier's Champion Stakes. She's trading at 4-1. And then we got number 14, Frozen Fantasy, who's been back from 14-1 into 10-1. Wow, what a race. I think firstly, I just have to pay compliments to the sponsor, Betway, for their continued loyal and, I must add, impressive support of racing, especially in the Highveld, Alistair, getting involved behind the operator, increasing the stake check for the Betway Summer Cup, and of course, just overall contribution to racing in the Highveld.
And I believe that there are plans for them to spread their wings further, which is wonderful news as well. Obviously with my background being in Durban and knowing the purple team as well as I do, Betway have made a very, very positive impact to racing in South Africa, to sport in South Africa. They put a lot of money into the PSL, a lot of money into the SA20 Cricket League, and also a lot of money into racing, and hats off to them. They run a wonderful operation, and their support of horse racing goes unnoticed, and a good bunch of people involved there, with Lawrence Michael being the head of the entire operation, Jonathan Bloomberg and various others. That's great that Bloomberg, that Betway have come to the party in the way that they have, and long may it continue. Looking forward to seeing what they do and where they go next. So that's all very, very exciting indeed. As for this race, D's, I've gone in. I mean, you've seen my numbers. You fell off your chair. I think you got whiplash after seeing all my numbers here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11, 12, and 13. You'll tell me, might as well go field. What is wrong with you? I've even left out one of the money horses in the form of Frozen Fantasy. I'm not going to go through them horse by horse, because this is a starting point for a lot of these horses. They're all going to be looking for races in the future. It's going to be too short for a lot of them. What I will say about this race and the next race is that traditionally it does favour younger horses, does favour 3-year-olds with the weight off their back. If they are of sufficient quality, they can do damage. Raheel and I had a long conversation off air during the week. He's keen on number 3, Captain Pig, because we're back on the Turffontein inside track, and she ran second to Feather Boa in this race 12 months ago. That's what she's capable of. But if you ask me who my top choice is, I'm going to go with number 11, VJ's Angel. If she was drawn better, she'd be close to a banker. Grade 1 winner at her last start, beating the boys. The specialist is top quality. Grand Crescendo runs in the next race. He's top quality as well. She's a very, very good filly as number 11, VJ's Angel. With luck and running, she can win. Can you be confident from that draw? No, but I'm spreading my net out as wide as I possibly can in this race, just because of the nature of the race. A lot of horses coming back from a layoff, top quality horses that are around, bad draws with horses that look like they have a chance. So I'm just not taking any chances.
Well, as I always mentioned, regardless of the result, when you get them betting 4-1 the field, it's a feature race. You are going to drop tickets, so try and get through with the minimum spend, and if you can't, well, you're going to have to maybe think of including the field, or Alistair has done as many horses as possible. Race number 7, Betway Joburg Spring Challenge, Group 2 over 1,450 meters. Again, competitive race, but the fixed odds betting market has got one horse firm at the top of the betting boards, and we'll begin with that horse, which is number 1, Main Defender, at 17-10. Then we have number 3, William Robertson, at 8-1. Number 6 is trading at 8-1. That is it. Is that it? Yep, that is it, Alistair. Just 3 horses in single figures here, and it is 17-10, number 1, Main Defender, and pretty much double figures the balance the way the fixed odds betting market read the race. The best weighted column is topped and by number 1, Main Defender, marginally ahead of William Robertson, and then you got Gladiatorian, Barbaresco, and Purple Pitcher. Well, some may just want to follow the betting markets here, Alistair, and side with the fixed odds with number 1, Main Defender. It's possibly the right horse in the race, because when you look past that, I don't know how many horses you can include.
I've looked past him. He's my top choice, number 1, Main Defender. He won this race 12 months ago. He absolutely ate Thunderstruck last year. Yes, he received 7.5 kilos, but Thunderstruck, we got to remember, subsequently won 2 grade 1s. 1 grade 1. Did Thunderstruck, winning the computer form sprint, running close up in the Cape Flying Championship behind Dice, and won a few other races along the way. What is his main target? I mean, this has obviously been a plan. That Pinnacle last time, where he was beaten by Unzen. Unzen has got absolutely no right at the weights of beating Main Defender this time around. But we also go to Unzen's home on the inside course, where he absolutely loves it, and he seems to grow an extra leg. Main Defender, for me, even though the Allied Steelroad on a Mission Mile as a handicap. I would suspect that race would suit him a little bit better, even though he'll have to give a lot of weight away off a rating of 131. I still wonder whether traditionally the 3-year-olds are going to come into play here. So that's why I'm just a little bit gun-shy, exactly where Main Defender was 12 months ago. In fact, ironically, we got the last 2 winners of the Betway Spring Challenge in this race, because William Robertson won it 24 months ago, famously, when the jockey who was carted to ride and wanted to scratch him at the start got replaced by his friend and came home smoking a pot. So that's an interesting dynamic in itself with number 3, William Robertson. I've got number 4, Gladiatorian, in because I think that he's a top horse. He's a grade 2 winner. He won the Post Merchants on Hollywoodbets Durbanville just over a year ago. Sean Veal takes her out for Stuart Berry. It's the only raider on the card as number 4, Gladiatorian. He's been to Joburg before. He ran in the Merchants on Betway Summer Cup Day when running seconds at Dice. For me, that was a run full of credit. Number 6, Unzen, as mentioned on the inside track, he's a force. Number 7, Back in Business, very interesting. He won the Spring Spree. He has got an alarming turn of foot, D's. This horse, I've not seen a horse switch it on like that in a long time, what he did last time to Cliffhanger. Now, he's gone from running against Cliffhanger to running against Main Defender, Purple Picture, William Robertson, Bunza, Gladiatorian, Melek, and Barbaresco, Give Me Another Chance. These are proper horses, but he could be anything. He could be very well treated by the handicap at number 7, Back in Business. 8, 9, and 12 also go in. Number 9, Barbaresco. I chatted to Raymond Danielson at the Val on Thursday. He's very, very positive about this horse's chances. 9, Give Me Another Chance, hasn't won in a long time. I think if he comes back to winning ways, it will be in a race of this nature. And number 12, Grand Crescendo, placed in a grade 1. He will love the tight turning Turffontein inside track. Got a bit of an awkward draw to overcome, but he's in a very, very good space. His main target is going to be the Grand Beck and the Dingon, so it is a starting point, but he's popping, and he won't disgrace himself either.
Yeah, I just must compliment our local, when I say local, being a KZN lad. Stuart Ferry, well done. Yep, number 4, Gladiatorian. I think he deserves a chance at this type of race in the high felt, and he's doing a superb job with him. Nice to see KZN represented on the big day and in the big race. Number 4, Gladiatorian. Main Defender or wide. That's the way I read it from Alistair Cohen's comments there as we move along to race number 8. This is a graduation plate over 1,200 meters, and we'll bring up the field here for race number 8. Number 1 is at 8-1. Horse number 2, Truth, who I see won't have the earmuffs and the tongue tie on. That is carded as off. Then we gone on to number 4, Buffalo Storm Cody at 18-10. Number 5, Musical Score at 28-10. And horse number 8, which was Jan Janssen van Vieren's runner, that was super impressive. I don't know what was behind that day, but the way this filly trounced them when backed to odds on, I don't know how much more. And she's carrying a very low weight here, 53.5 kgs. She's a horse that will keep you very interested after what I saw on debut over that 1,000-meter trip, and 1,200 I think will be no issue. Good race this, Alistair. Very good race. Hotter Ruby tops the best weighted column at a 115. Number 2, Truth at a 101. Then it's number 8 at 98. Number 4 at 94. And 5 at 91. Those are the top 5 in the best weighted column. It's a big spread there when you consider how high up Hotter Ruby is. Race number 8, what are we doing?
A lot of reputations on the line here, D's. I've gone field in the pick 6. You probably don't need field. I think it's going to be too short for Hotter Ruby. I can't see him winning at 1,200 despite the Stratum Tarry factor. Truth, doing very, very well at home. This is a starting point for him. He's got the worst of the draws. Let's see how he goes on his return, but he's a top quality horse. He just didn't appreciate Hollywoodbets Greyville. He had bad draws. It was disappointing, yes, but he's got something big in him. Don't worry about that. Don't write this horse off, even if he doesn't arrive on this card. Ampersand is one of the horses who looks like he's got it all to do from a break and off a rating of 81. What I've heard during the week about number 5 Musical Score and 8 Bakwena is frightening. Both these horses are highly regarded by their connections, by their trainer. critical score was a last-minute decision by Lucky Hudalakis to put him in this race. He beat Blizzard Snow with contempt on debut at his home course at the Val when beating Blizzard Snow by 3 1/4 lengths. Blizzard Snow finally won. There was a horse called Alone Time who has come out and won from that form line as well, but the way he won was seriously impressive. We'll learn a lot about him. He could be a very smart sprinter in the making. And as you mentioned, number 8, Bakwena, to the eye, looked very good. And I know that the connections think that she is out the top draw, 53.5 kilos on her back. Now she's running against horses that have run at group level. So if she's able to move this field aside, then the sky could be the limit. Don't expect number 6, Address the Nation, to win, but after the gelding, he's turned the corner. If he ran 4th, it would probably feel like a win about number 6, Address the Nation. I don't believe he can go with Truth, especially with only 3 kilos between them. But I've gone field just because of all the reputations here. And, well, we know we'll survive, but top choice, I'm actually going to go with the filly. I think number 8, Bakwena, could be the one that they all need to beat in the penultimate race on the card. But this is one that even if you don't have a bet, you don't want to miss it.
Yeah, I'm going to be with you with the filly. From what I saw first up, number 8, Bakwena, as the roving banker in the race at around 7-2. Race number 9, merit-rated 96 handicap, 1,000 meters, and we close things off. And if you're going in the pick 6, well, hopefully it is a sizable dividend that's being declared on the runners and numbers that you have in your perm. Number 1 at 11-2. Horse number 5 is at 33-10. Number 6 at 5-2. 7 at 28-10. And 8 at 7-2. Well, I didn't have a look at Mr. Cohen's suggested bet or his numbers, but prior to coming on the show, should I say, before coming onto the show, it flashed up on the screen. And I saw a lot of numbers leading up to the last race, but if my memory serves me correct, did I see a banker in race number 9?
Yes, you did. He's number 1, Swing Upon a Star. I know he's got to give weight away, but the old cliche, you can give weight but not start in 1,000 a sprint. This horse has got lightning speed. He's run twice over 1,000 meters, which surprises me, and he's run second twice. Not to forget that this horse, as a 2-year-old, won oh so narrowly at Hollywoodbets Greyville on Gold Cup Day, so that's what he's capable of. The fact that he's coming back to a sprint, the fact that he's back in a handicap for the first time in a long time. He's competed at Grade 1 level. He's no Grade 1 horse, but he's competed at Grade 1 level with a little bit of disappointments and a bit of a bloody nose, but I think coming against this type of opposition for the first time in a long time, Gavin Lorena on board. These I don't want to know. I think number 1, Swing Upon a Star, very hard horse to beat. I think he's got a lot in his favour, and I just think with his pace that he'll be able to get away with it and win it. If you're looking for one other, that one other is the bottom weight, or one of the bottom weights, number 8, Smith and Wesson, out of draw 1 on the last run to Tchaikovsky, finished in front of Kinshan Shah and Karangatang. So that would be my backup if there is any backup to be had. But as it stands, and as I'm going to do, it's all in the final leg. And if we do get that far, then I'm going to be a very nervous man around 4, 5 minutes before the finale at Turffontein.
I'll tell you what, I like the thought process. I love the perm, the way you're ending things off. But more importantly, I think what we're going to do is race number 1. You gave us all the confidence in the world with the Octagon at 6-10. And race number 9, at the time of recording, that's not going to last after Alistair Cohen's comments. Number 1, Swing Upon a Star at 11-2. You multiply that double out, I'll tell you, it's 9.5-1. That is the double. That could be a way to start it off and end it off. Races 1 and 9. So 9.5-1. The Octagon in race number 1 and race number 9. Number 1, Swing Upon a Star. That's a nice double, races 1 and 9. But let's go on to your suggested bet, Alistair, which is chasing, aiming, and hoping to hit the bullseye with the pick 6.
Yeah, as you know, and as the viewers know, Dees, I love to give them the biggest bang for their buck with taking advantage of what's going to be a big pool. It's an early start to the pick 6. I mean, this is sort of Hollywoodbets Durbanville time of pick 6, 25-2. So don't miss the boat. It's 2 and 7 in the first leg. Razor Hallelujah and Explosive Bond. By banker number 3, Mia Moo. I've gone as good as field in the second leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11, 12, and 13 in the Fillies and Mares Spring Challenge sponsored sponsored by Betway. The next leg, that's open company, 1, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 12 by field, by banker one, swing up on a star. So 2 bankers on the pick 6. 3 races where I've gone as wide as I can, and then just looking to survive with 2 horses in the first leg. That's how I structured it. It's a fairly big perm, not record breaking, but fairly big perm. But with that R5 million target, I think we got to go to the well and have a go on this pick 6 on Saturday.
Thanks for your time, Alistair, and all the best over the weekend.
Shot D, same to you. Thanks to all the viewers, and we'll catch up soon.
Thanks to Alistair Cohen, and of course for the Gallop TV team, Alistair Cohen, myself, Dees Down, and to you, the valued racing fan. There's lots to play for this weekend. That doubleheader, Hollywoodbets Durbanville, and the Big T with that carryover, as we continue to mention it throughout the show. It's 1 million. It's carried over to the pick 6 that begins in race number 4. You saw Alistair Cohen's suggested pick 6, which you can use as a skeleton along with your numbers, add and subtract, and hopefully you get that perm and the horses fall into place. From the entire team to you, the valued racing fan, have a blast, find all the winners, and hopefully it turns out to be a wonderful weekend for you, especially if you catch that pick 6. Until we meet again, you take care. Salani Gasli.